Hi everybody, welcome. What I'm going to be going through today is how you can build a strong foundation, get back to the basics, that you can implement free and inexpensive ideas for your marketing. I'm not going to take questions during the seminar. I'm going to wait till after if there's time because we have a really full day. I have a full hour and a half to go over, so we can take questions at the end. Okay, that's not working. Okay, so my name's Liz Whemore, and like Kate said, I'm the Marketing and Graphic Design Manager here at the library. I'll give you a little history about myself. I went to school for commercial art, and then later in life went back to school for marketing and graphic design and web design. And then I started to work for a professional firm where I marketed 9 of their 11 services. And those services all dealt with small business. So it gave me a real passion and a real understanding for what small businesses need. So for the last 2 years, I went off and started to do private consulting for small businesses. And then I'm now started at the library for 5 months. It's a perfect fit for me. It's how can I help the community, and Kate really wants to work with the businesses. So it's a really good fit for how I can help the community and help you to grow your business. So today, we're going to be going over the foundations. We're going to be going over a lot of things. I have 5 different areas that are all equally important that I could talk about a whole seminar on each one of these. So I don't want to overwhelm you, but take this as bite-sized pieces. If you take away today 2 or 3 different ideas that you can implement in 2015, you're going to feel like you're going to be able to grow your business with these ideas. So like I said, I hope I won't overwhelm you, so kind of bear with me. It's a lot of information, but I do think in the end, if you just take a small fraction of them, it will make a big difference to your business. So today we're going to be going over branding, networking, your website, social media, and communications. Those are all the avenues that, in a nutshell, is pretty much everything you could know in marketing. So it's going to give you ideas in each one of these categories. Like I said, pick 1 or 2 categories and say that's what you're going to work on for 2015. Don't feel like you have to work on the whole thing, but I hope today you can get a couple of really good ideas from this. So we're going to start with branding. What does it mean? Simply put, your brand is your promise to your customer. It tells them what to expect from your products and services, and it differentiates your offerings from your competitors. Your brand is derived from who you are, who you want to be, and most of all, what you want people to perceive you to be. So that's what your brand is. So what I do with my clients is I start out and I ask them these 5 questions. So write down these answers. Do an exercise at home so you really fully get to understand what you need for marketing, what you need to grow your business. The first one is, what is your mission? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish with your business? Next, what benefits and features of your products and services make you unique? What makes you different and stand out? You want to pinpoint these because that's what you're going to want to market on. Okay, and next is, who are your customers? We're going to talk later in the presentation about targeting your customers. It's really important that you fully understand who your target customers are. And that's, what problems does your company solve for those customers? What are their pain points? What can you help them solve? That's an important question that you really need to address to really be able to grow your business. And last, what qualities do you want them to associate with your company? What do you want them to know all about your company? That's kind of what branding is. It's kind of getting to know everything about your company at a snapshot look. So next, your logo, the all-important logo. It's like it's the foundation of your brand. It's like it should be on your website, on your packaging, on your promotional materials. You need to integrate your logo into everything that you communicate. Why is a logo important? Great logos make a great first impression. They attract new customers. They let you stand out from your competition. They keep loyal customers. They earn trust and professionalism. Why, if you're a small business, if you don't have a logo, you appear unstable, your business looks amateurish, and you look like you're unfocused. So it's really important for you to have a strong logo. I just put here a couple examples of some logos that, obviously they've had the marketing dollar to put behind these logos. But what I can recommend for everyone is if you have a logo, or if you don't have a logo, sit back and look at it and say, could I look at this logo at a glance and kind of know what it is, what you do? You know, if not, maybe you need to put a symbol with it. If you're a dentist, maybe you need to have a tooth with it. You know, something that when they first glance at it, they know exactly what you do. If you don't have a symbol that relates to your business, pick any symbol, because sometimes a symbol is something that they remember. They remember a picture over just a word. So if you put a picture with your name, it makes them recognize it faster when they see it in your marketing. So I recommend to everybody that they kind of sit back, look at their logo, and see is it really working for them. You can always take a logo and expand upon it. You don't have to necessarily redesign the whole thing, but you can pick pieces that you might add to your logo and then start going forward with marketing with that logo. So your logo is probably one of your most important branding pieces. Next, the steps to developing your brand. These are some helpful tips that I could recommend to get your brand going. First, to write an elevator speech. This is a key message that you're going to communicate your brand. It's a short 90-second speech that you're going to tell people who you are, what you want to accomplish. So if you don't have an elevator speech, I recommend that you go home, you write a paragraph of what you are, who you are, what you want to be, and that's what you're going to talk to people. When you meet people, that's what you're going to say to them. But don't just stop at yourself. You need to spread the word. Every one of your employees needs to memorize your elevator speech. It's very important to becoming a brand. So you want to spread that word. Next, create a voice for your company that reflects your brand. Your voice should be applied to all your written communications. It should be incorporated into your visual imagery and all of your materials, offline and on. And what I mean by the voice, I mean, like, is your brand casual? Then it can have a casual tone. If you're a lawyer, you want to have a professional tone, and you want to bring that tone throughout all of your materials. So think of yourself as what you are and what you want to be portrayed. And that's what you want to make sure that you convey through everything you do. Next, you want to develop a tagline. Write a memorable, meaningful, and a concise statement that captures the essence of your brand. For example, the library's tagline is inform, enrich, enlightened. That's what we want our patrons to feel when they see our name, that's what we're trying to convey to them. And that's what you want to do with your brand. You want to write a tagline that really says what you are. And that tagline should be used in everything. You know, sneak it up underneath your logo so it's part of your logo. But then it makes people understand what you're trying to convey. Next, you know, you want to make sure that you're designing all of your marketing materials to be the same feel, look and feel. So you want the same color scheme. You want your logos always in the same placement. You want your look and feel to feel the same. So it doesn't have to be fancy, but you do have to be consistent in your marketing materials. That's how people will remember what you've done and what you're doing. So, you know, make sure you're really, in all your materials, having the same tone. Be true to your brand. Customers won't return to you or refer other people to you if you don't offer your brand promise. You have to stick behind what you're saying in your elevator speech. You know, you want to make sure you're not promising things you can't do. So you want to always stand behind your brand. And most of all, we want you to be consistent. I place this point last because it involves all of the above and is probably the most important tip that I can give you to establish a brand. Without it, your brand would fail. So you need to be consistent in all avenues of your marketing. Next, integrate your brand. You say, how can I get my brand out there? Well, start with your voice message or your answering machine message. Don't just say, hi, I can't make it to the phone right now. Can I give you a call back? You want to say something about what you're promoting for the weekend, what exactly your tagline is, you know, what exactly your business. You have a short window to kind of introduce yourself on your voice messages. So make sure you utilize that. It's really an important thing that people forget. You know, next, on your email signature. And below I gave you an important thing, that, you know, a sample of an email signature of what is ideal. I don't recommend to my clients that they ever add any photos into their signature line, because there's a lot of email clients that just can't open those photos, and it makes a slow open. So I recommend you don't do that. I recommend you do links so that they can click on it and go to it. So this is a good example of what you'd want to lay out for a good signature line. Next, it can be even on what your employees wear. If you're a professional service firm or you're a lawyer, you might be wearing polos with the logo. If you're a painting company, you might have a fun picture with the name of your website on the back. Reflect your tone of your brand within what your employees are wearing as well, because all of it interconnects. Also, make sure on your website that everything is consistent, that you keep with the same colors from your website that you keep with your marketing materials. You want to make sure that you're conveying to your prospects and customers that this is the same company. So basically, you want your brand to be on everything. Next, we're going to go into networking. And why is networking so important? I want everyone to think of this spider web as kind of what you think of when you think of networking. It's a web of communication that you can continue to grow. Look at each person that you meet and do business with as your walking advertisement. They can spread the word for you, good or bad. So you should make sure that everybody you treat as a customer, not just as a casual acquaintance. Treat them like you would treat your customers. So anybody that's going to any network event needs to have a promotional toolkit that comes with them. So what's in this promotional toolkit that can make you successful? First, the first tool is your business card. Your business card should have your contact information on it, your company name, your visual identifier such as your logo, and maybe your tagline. Don't get crazy on your business card. Don't make it like a brochure. Save that information for a brochure. Keep it really simple. But every person in this room has to have a business card. Because when you meet someone, that's your leave behind. If you don't leave them with something, they're not going to remember you. So hand people your business cards. Then they can hold on to it. When they need your service, they can go back and refer to it. So everyone should have a business card. Next, as we talked about before, the elevator speech. Everyone that goes out on a networking event should have an elevator speech, should be able to talk within the time that you would take from the 5th floor to the 1st floor. What can you tell people about your business? Who you are, what you do, what they need to understand in your elevator speech. So everyone needs to have an elevator speech, and also make sure their employees know that what the elevator speech is. Make sure you memorize it. It's really an important factor. And last but not least, and it might surprise you, other people's business cards. You think, why do I want to bring other people's business cards? Well, you want to think of networking as a circle, not a line. You're going to carry other people's business card is a good way to promote and share information with others. It gives you an entry into a conversation with strangers. Being able to tip someone about an exact service or product that they're looking for can get you remembered. It helps spread the word of mouth and maybe gives you a chance to talk about your business as well. So those are the 3 things that when you go to a network event, you want to be armed with. Okay. Next, as we talked about targeting your customer. In order to build a strong foundation for your business, you first must identify your typical customer so that you can tailor your marketing pitch specifically to them. So, define your target market. Look at your current customer base. Choose a specific demographic to target. Go to where your customer go, think like a targeted customer, and what tools that you'll need to reach that audience. Narrow your marketing as much as possible. What makes you unique and different? What do you specialize in? Then, after you ask yourself those questions, find the specific audience that would be looking for just that. You can target by age, demographic, location, gender, income level, educational level, marital or family status, occupation. There's many ways to target. And once you've established your target customer, go to those places. Go to where they hang out both online and in person. Think like your targeted audience. Small businesses can effectively compete with large companies by targeting a niche market. Target a specific market does not mean that you have to exclude people that don't fit into that criteria. It just means that you need to focus in your marketing dollars and your brand message on that market so that it can be more effective and cost efficient for you and your customers. So you want to make sure you understand who your target market is and go after that. Really tailor everything, your voice, everything to who would be most likely be your customer. Next, I wanted to give you some ideas for networking. It doesn't cost anything to do this, but it does cost your time. And I realize that that's a big investment. But being able to network more is probably the #1 thing that you can do for marketing and get yourself out and get known. So start by joining a community event. That's always a great way to get your word out in the community. People like people that support the community. So support your community. Volunteer. And that's when, contribute articles to local publications. I want you to be seen as the expert in your field. So why not write an article? Don't write it about you. Write it about what you can provide, or write a story about your service or about some good service that you gave to a customer. But contribute articles to your local publications. On that note, do speaking engagements. Where's my target audience hanging out? Well, maybe there's an opportunity for you to speak about a subject that has to do with your business. So try to think of places that they go to and maybe start by doing some speaking engagements. Create a referral program. This is with your existing clients. Create a program that maybe you're going to give them 20% off if they bring in a new person. It's a great way for you to meet new people, and it's a win-win for everybody. So it's a great idea. Next, write good reviews for your fellow business partners. This is very important. You want to always think like the other person. It's like if you would like someone to write a good review about you, so would they. So start by writing a good review about a business partner, and hopefully they'll reciprocate and write one about you. Take a customer to lunch. I love this one because how easy can this be? Take one of your customers to lunch. It's a win-win. They're going to spread word of mouth about you like, wow, he took me to lunch. But you're going to learn what they liked about your company and what they didn't like about your company. So you're getting great intel from these customers, and it's valuable information. So it's an inexpensive way to really know if you're going in the right direction with your business. Next, develop business partners and cross-promote. I can't stress enough that it's like if you start with a buddy up with a business partner, you get to see his client list and they get to see your client list, and they blend together and it gives you double the amount of people that you might not have had any other way. So it's a good way to do that. Next, take part in sponsors in community events. It's like we just had a mini golf event this weekend, and it was great. We had sponsors that were seen in the community. They were advertised from us. We put them on our website. We put it up in social media. We sent them out in the newsletter. We let the community know what businesses were partnering with us. So that was free advertisement. They couldn't get that much advertisement by putting it in the paper. So it's a great way for you to do, at a very minimal cost, to be able to be part of your community and show that you're supporting the community. It's join networking events. Like the Chamber is a great example. It's like the Chamber offers so many different networking events. You should take part in those because you never know how many people you're going to meet. And then they spread the word about you. It's all about spreading the word of mouth. So that's why networking is so important. Participate in your local mixers. There's many different functions going on here in New Lenox. It's like, are you being part of them? Set yourself a goal. Say, I'm going to start networking, and I'm going to go to 1 networking meeting a month. And if you went to 1 a month, that's 12 a year, you would probably triple who knows you. And then they spread that word, so it starts growing. So go seek out the networking events that you can find, because they are a very valuable asset to you. Next, we're going to talk about websites. What everyone needs about a website. First of all, I hope everyone has a website. If you don't have a website, this will be some really good information that can help you with building your website. I want everyone to think of their website as a yellow page. It's your way of being found. At the very least, have a presence on the web so that your customers, your potential employees, your business partners, and perhaps even investors can find you quickly and easily to find out more about your business and your products and your services that you offer. Your small business will gain credibility. A website saves you money. A small business owner, you probably think you can't afford a professional website, but honestly, you can't afford not to have one. Although the cost of designing a website varies, once it's up and running, a website for a small business generally costs under $100 a month, and in some cases as little as $20 a month. Compare that cost with a newspaper ad. When you consider the potential market that you reach with a website, it is a very cost-effective way to promote your business. It will enable you to keep your customers informed. It also makes you look very credible. It makes you look like you're an established business. A website makes it possible to target wider markets. You're not just going to be the people that come into your store that hear about you from New Lenox. You're going to be able to broaden yourself by having a website. And it also helps you showcase all the work that you do. A website can save you time. Providing information to your customer takes time, whether it's on the phone, face-to-face, in a brochure, on emails. With an online catalog, it can provide you lots of information about your products and services once your website is up and running, and it is available to your customers indefinitely, which ultimately saves you time. What is time? Time is money. It also improves customer service. It lets your customers go to your website and maybe get the answers to questions without having to call you to seek out the answers. So, why, if you need some more convincing, do you need a website? Statistics say that 60% of most businesses comes from a website. If you don't have one, that's how much business you're losing. Here are a couple more statistics to make it a little more convincing. 85% of customers are searching local businesses online. So they're looking online first to find the business without any other way. You could have newspaper ads like crazy, but they're all going to the internet to find out about your business. 63% of small businesses are without a website presence, which is kind of shocking statistic. And 75% of those don't even have their address or their on their homepage or their phone number. So that's just a loss. If you do have a website, go back, check the homepage, make sure that you had the vital information that you need people to know about you. So make sure that you have your address, your phone number, your logo, a general statement about what you do. Okay, next is like the elements of a good website. What makes a good website? Okay, first we're going to start with the appearance of your website. A good website should have 2 to 3 colors that should blend very well. Make your text readable. You want to make sure when they get on their page they can clearly understand, clearly see everything. Put meaningful graphics and quality photography. And when I say quality photography, I don't mean stock photography. I mean you should be utilizing your own photography. It should be your employees, it should be your factory, it should be your office, it should be you. They want to be able to relate to you. So don't use stock photography. And above all, keep it simplistic. Anybody that goes to a website that's crazy, your eye is crazy, you got all these bells and whistles and your eyes don't know where to go, that's not helping you. That makes people jump off your website. You want it simple. Think simple and clean. You don't want too many bells and whistles. It really does hurt your site more than help it. Next, we want to talk about content. We want it to be clear, concise, and most of all, compelling content. This one, I have to say, is the most important. Update your website regularly. If you leave a stagnant website that you don't ever go back and touch, you can never expect to have return visitors because they feel like, why? It's looked the same for 3 years. Why would I need to go back to it? You want to update your website regularly. You will not get good SEO without doing this. That's search engine optimization. You need to be able to say, I'm committed to a website, I'm going to update it, I'm going to put the time into my website. You also want to make sure that you're speaking to the potential visitor. It's not all about you. You want to make it all about them. So you want to tell them how you can solve their pain points, what you can do for them. So in your language, make sure you use the word you. Don't use I, we, us, like it's all about you. You want to make sure it's about them. So, in your content, go back, read what you're saying. Are you just boasting about yourself? People don't want that. They want to know, how can you help me? What can you do for me? The next section is your function, how your website functions. Is your site working correctly? Do you have any broken links? Have you gone back and checked it recently? It's like, go back, make sure everything's in working order, make sure your navigation works. If you have a site search in your website, make sure that's working. Make sure it's error-free and spelling and grammar. And above all, test, test, and retest. And when I say that, testing, every browser sees a website different. So just because on Google it looks perfect doesn't mean that you could jump onto Safari and it's a big mess. The links could be broken, it might not work. So you have to go and test like the top 5 browsers. Make sure that your website's working in all of them. And if it's not, then you've got to correctly fix what's not working because you don't want a broken website out there. Next is usability. It's like, is it simplistic? Is it easy enough for people to get to find what they need to find? Does your page load fast enough? And this is an important one, minimal scrolling. No one wants to read forever. People don't have the patience for it. They want as little to be said in as short amount as you can say it. So don't make them scroll down the page probably more than twice. Don't put everything but the kitchen sink in your home page. It's like you want to make sure it's just the information that's vital to your company. You want to make sure that you have a consistent layout. You don't want to have people jump from your home page to About Us and look like they went to a totally different site. That makes them confused and think, I think I got out of that site, and they just leave. It's like you want to make sure that you're using the same colors, the same layouts, page after page after page, so that they realize they've stayed in the same website. You want to make sure that your navigation is prominent and is logical, that it's easy to understand, that they know exactly where they're going to go to, a drop-down menu that tells them exactly where to go. And if you have links in your home page or in any page, make sure they're descriptive. Make sure they understand where they're going when they click that link. Next is SEO, which is search engine optimization. This is how do you get your site up to the top of the search engines. And it's a tricky business. I'll be honest, there's a lot of tricks to it. It's not an easy for a small business to do, but I'm going to give you some ideas that can at least help you in that right direction. First of all, don't use Flash, JavaScript, or images in your navigation. One, it tends to make it break, and it tends to make it slow. And if it's slow loading, they won't stay. You don't want bells and whistles, especially in your navigation. You want a simple drop-down that they can click and go to. You don't want any fancy stuff, and certainly no images in it. Next, you want to minimize your use of tables in your website. Everybody loves to see a table, but the tables are so filled with code that they make your page load slowly. And if your page loads slowly, people are gone. They'll stay for about a couple seconds. If it's not loading, they're off to the next website. So if you have a table in it, make sure it's a very small table. Make sure it's not making your page load slowly. There's ways that you can go on to, Google has some tools that will show you how fast your pages are loading. And if it's loading too slow, then you know you probably have too many tables in it. And that's probably causing a lot of your problems. Next, write good content, interesting articles, create videos, post informative information. Why this is important to SEO? The search engines look for what's different. How often are things being put up onto your website? So when the spider bots go through and check it out, if you never change anything, they just brush right by you. If they see you're changing stuff weekly, then they say this deems this as an important website and it needs to be further up in the search engine. So you need to make sure that you're putting great content on regularly. Don't leave a stagnant website. Next, you want to share presentations on websites and get out press releases. And later in this presentation, I show you just where to do those things. A slide presentation is a PowerPoint, a quick PowerPoint that talks about your business that you can then share out on the internet. It's a great way to get great SEO because it's another chance for people to find your website. Just make sure in your presentations that you're always putting your website in it. And then last, to help you out, it's like, go on and claim your business. Go on and put your directory online. You can go on through Google they use Damas to put as their directory. Go on there. I've let the link in this presentation. Go on there and make sure that you are listed in the directories for online. It's going to help your business get found. So it's an important thing for your SEO. Next, we're going to talk about keywords. Having the right keyword can make or break your website from getting found. What are keywords? It's what the visitor types into the search engine to find you. Specific terms used by a person to search on something on the internet. An exact phrase used by your prospects. There are many keyword tools available online. I just gave you a couple there that will help you. You can type in what you think is a keyword for your business, and it will give you some suggestions of other keywords that have come up better in the search engine. And what I recommend for this is, let's just say you're a tire repair company here in Lenox, and you put in, my keyword is tire repair. okay? Well, so is 1,000 other businesses putting in tire repair. So you might want to narrow it down, like new Lenox tire repair. Then at least people that are searching in new Lenox for tire repair would probably type in new Lenox tire repair. So you want to kind of think like your prospects, think what they would type in to find you, and try to narrow down your search. If you're a tire company, maybe Goodyear's your top brand, so you want to put in Goodyear tires. You know, you want to be specific. That way you will definitely get a more target niched audience, and they will find you easier. So that's really important to do. Okay, so where do you put your keywords? Once you have your keywords established, you want to put them into your first paragraph of your web copy. You want them to be in your title tags, and I'll explain what that is, and in your headline tags. So a title tag is what, when people type in and they go to your page, up at the top tab is going to be the title of that web page. So in that title, when the spider bots come and see what's on this site, they go to the title tag and say, oh, this is what's on this site. So you want to make sure that you're putting your keywords within your title tag, and that's in the back with the code. Okay, you want to also make sure that they're in your headline tags. Okay, what is a headline tag? A headline tag is what's between paragraphs. It's usually bold, it's usually a little larger, and it's kind of what you're calling out is in that paragraph. So in those headline tags, you want to make sure that you're putting your keywords into those headline tags, because that is going to be really important information for the spider bots to find you. So you want to do that. You also want to make sure that you put alternative tags. Now, an alternative tag is what goes with your images. And why they have these is because, let's say that you were blind and you're letting the computer read to you. When it gets to the image, it's going to read what that image is. So the spider bots deem this very important. So they go through your website and see what your alt tags say. You know, what is the tag for each photograph? What is it saying? But it's a perfect opportunity for you to put keywords of what your business is. You know, don't say what the photo is, but try to incorporate some of your keywords into that. And basically you should have no more than 2 to 3 keywords per page. So don't go crazy. You want to pick a couple of words or a phrase, and you want to utilize it as much as you can on that page that it makes sense. But try to get it in your title tag, in your headline tags, in your alt tags, and in your first paragraph. That's where the spider bots are looking. That's where they're checking to see what's on this website. Tools to making a successful website. First of all, it's analytics. If you don't have any way of tracking, how will you know if you're doing the right things or the wrong things? Analytics is a little piece of code that you're going to put into your website. It's going to help your visitors, you to know who your visitors are, how much traffic you're getting to each page. It's going to tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. So I highly recommend that if you do not have analytics, go to Google. They have all the free tools. They give you the snippet of code. You put the code into your web page, and it's going to feed you information constantly of who's coming, what they're clicking on, what they're looking at, what page they're jumping to. It's a wealth of knowledge that you need to know what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. So it's a perfect tool, and it's a free one. Next, index your site. I don't know if anyone here has ever indexed their site, but I've given you some links that you can go on and actually go to those sites. They create the site map for you. So you put in your URL, and it gives you a full site map. You take that site map, you put it into your website, so when the spider bots come, they instantly know what's in yours because you have a site map. So it will go through what's in your website, and it will help you be found. It also is a great tool to take your site map and go ahead and submit it to the major search engines. It's not hard. They have tools. They tell you online exactly, upload it now, and it uploads you for. Then you're not waiting for the spider bots to come around. It's going to index it for you. It's a much faster way of getting found. If you're waiting for the spider bots to come, they may never find your site, and that's why some small businesses never get up to the top of the search engine. So if you don't have this tool, I recommend you definitely get this because it's a vital one. Also, maybe you need to know, what am I doing right on my website? What am I not doing right? Go to the site, put in your URL, and it gives you a free report on what you're doing right or wrong. It grades you A, B, C, D. Okay, and it will tell you you're missing this, you don't have social, you don't have headline tags, you don't have alt tags. It will tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. It's a free tool, it's definitely worth investigating. Next, as everybody would say, and we all know, content is king. As I said before, it's probably your #1 tool that you can use to get found on the internet. So I'm going to give you some ideas of what kind of things you can use for content. First, pictures. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. Use personal pictures, though. I don't want you to use anything but your own pictures. Get your staff, get your office, of your factory, of your products. Make them personal so that your clients and prospects will connect and relate to you. Next, as we talked about, write articles that pertain to your business. Make them informational. Do not make them a sales pitch. That's not what this is about. You want to put things that people want to come and find on your website. Next, create a fun survey for your customers. There's free tools like SurveyMonkey online that lets you create surveys. These can be fun. You know, you can then post the results. It's a nice way to interact with the visitors on your site, as well as for you to gain some information, some vital information on knowing what they like or don't like. So it's just a win-win for everybody on that. Next, create customer testimonials. Make those videos. Make them podcasts. You know, say I'm going to do a podcast and I'm going to interview you, and you don't have to be on video. We're going to do it audio, and we're just going to ask questions back and forth. It's a great thing to add to your website. You also can just write the testimonial. If someone comes to you and says, "Oh, I really loved this product," say, "Can I quote you on that?" And then add the quote to your website. People love to come to a website where people are giving shining reviews. So it's very important that you do that. Next, if you have product guides and tutorials, put them up on your website. It's a great thing for people that had bought your products to not have to worry about they lost their guides. They can go right there and find it. So if you have products that relate to those things, make sure you put those up on your website. Also, and this is a great one, frequently asked questions. Supply the answers for everybody. Your most common questions, take those, put a page on your website, put the answers. It saves you time because they don't have to call you and ask. They feel satisfied because they got to your website and found your answers. So it's a great way to do good customer service. Next, infographics. Why are infographics so big? Well, everyone's talking about them. What's up with infographics? The reason the infographics are so popular and so hot is because people have no attention span anymore. They want to come on, they want to look at a glance and go, I want to read 5 words, I want to see 5 pictures, and it tells me exactly what this is. So that's why infographics are really becoming popular. And if you don't have an infographic, it's not a hard thing to do. You know, come to our digital media lab, we can help you out and figure out how to do infographics, but they're a great way at a glance for your visitors to see exactly what message you're trying to portray to them. Also, you know, interview your customers. You know, say, hey, can I interview you? Make it a video tutorial, or, you know, sit down and say, we're going to do a podcast. I'm going to just ask you a couple questions. If they don't want to be interviewed, you know, on camera, you know, say, okay, can I just ask you some questions that I'm going to go ahead and post onto my Facebook, onto my web page. So it's great content. You know, demo your product. Do you have a product that people would like to see? And let's just say you have a product and it's really nothing to demo. Well, maybe you do an unboxing, a 30-minute video of unboxing so they see what pieces are in your product. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with, you know, demoing your products as well. Have a tip corner or a how-to, you know, where your visitors come. And the reason that they would want to come is because it's vital information. So if you give them a tip, or you give them a how-to, or you give them some really good piece of information, they're going to keep coming back to your site because they're going to go, wow, he's really giving me some great information that I wouldn't have been able to find very easy. So that's a great thing to add to your website. Next, and I left this one for last because it's the one I'm most passionate about. It's like, I believe video is the upcoming and what every person in this room needs to have. If you don't have a website, you can still have a video. Build yourself a video channel and put up some videos. And I'm going to tell you why. 61% of the total population watch an average of 397 online videos in the month of January this year. That's a lot of video watching. And here's the most important reason. 74% of all internet traffic in 2017 is projected to come from video. And what that means is right now, Google is the #1 search engine. But by 2017, it's going to be YouTube. And if you don't have a video, you have no chance of being found. So everybody in the next couple years has to have some videos. Build yourself a channel and put up 30-second quick little videos about your services, your products, interview your clients. There's many things you can create videos on. And last but not least, 52% of all marketing professionals deem video the best return on investment. And I 100% agree that if without a video, your business is going to have a hard time growing. It's going to have a hard time finding your website. It's a great thing to put on your website. We also hear you say, I don't have a camera, I don't have this, I don't have it. We do here at the library. We have video cameras, we have green screens, we have all the software that you need to edit your video. We have the Linda Tutorials, that's a training session that can tell you how to do your videos. So there's really no reason that everybody in this room couldn't have a video. So if you don't have a video, sit and think about it, because your business will grow tremendously by having a video. Next, we're going to talk about social media. The best practices for social media. First of all, I'm going to give you some statistics on why I think you should have social media for your business. 2 million users have Twitter's accounts. 65 million tweets are happening a day. 500 million active users on Facebook. And 250 million logged into Facebook at least once a week. Those are high numbers. So, you know, it doesn't hurt. And especially if you do not have a website, you should have a social presence. Use your social presence, use your Facebook as your mini website. It's a way, it's still in the search engines, they type in something, your Facebook page would still come up. So you want to make sure that you're developing your social media as well. This is what your competitors are doing on social media. 93% of nonprofits use social media. 87% of business to business are in social media. And 86% of business to consumers are using social media. So like I said, it's a very important tool, and it's one that, you know, if you don't have a website, it becomes even more important to you. It's just a way for you to get found. It's a way for you to communicate with your clients. Social influence decisions. 74% rely on social to guide their purchasing decision. 74% of people are going on the website to figure out if they, you know, really want to buy this product. They're going to social channels to find that out. 55% share their purchases on social. That's why it's easy to know if they like your product or not. And 68% learn more about charity if they have a friend posting on social media. So why social? Well, it's great ways to drive repeat business and attract new customers. Social media has changed the way people connect and deliver and share information. What are the benefits for social media? It helps spread the word. It drives your sales. It provides great customer service, and it keeps customers coming back. So that's some of the reasons why you need to have social media. What are the main principles of social media? Authenticity. Be authentic. Your prospects want to trust and feel comfortable with you. Build relationships. To do this, you need to interact with your visitors. So you need that. You can't just have a stagnant page, just like a website, that you don't ever interact with. You want to build relationships. Share with useful tips and information. But whatever you do, don't argue with people on social media. It's not about that. Think of them as your customers. Would you argue with your customers? So don't do that. You know, you want to make sure you're sharing information back and forth with them, but just don't argue on social media. Be a thought leader in your industry. Share useful articles, information, hints, and tips for your visitors. Conversation is a two-way street. So you want to make sure that you're sharing, that you're viewed to all of the people that visit your social media as an expert. So put up some things that show that you're an expert. It's like conversation's a two-way street. So interact and make yourself feel human to them. Build trust with your visitors. Content. Add interesting content to your social channels. Make your visitors want to keep coming back to your Facebook page to see what you're posting next. And this is the last one. It's like, make it interesting. Get creative. Use video, photos to convey your message. And I always say, well, if you're not creative, go on the internet, Do some searching. See what other people are doing. Get ideas that way. That's all it takes. But try to come up with some great different ideas that you can use on social media. So I'm going to go through the social platforms, who they pertain to, which ones are good for you to use or not use. We're going to start with Facebook. Their audience is all audiences. They look for useful, interesting, informative content that they mainly are used by business to business, business to consumer, and nonprofit. So as you can see, Facebook is one of the best ways to start, and it's one that everybody will relate to. Next, LinkedIn is geared to business. So if you're a business to business consumer, then this is the platform that you want to have a presence in. It's best used for industry news, tips and solutions, and it's mostly used by business to business. Next, Twitter. Twitter is mostly a younger adults. If this is your target, this is a great platform for you to do for your business. So like I said, if you target your audience and you know your audience is mainly young adults, then you want to have a presence on Twitter. And they're out there looking for news, brand updates, trends. They're sharing the news, they're sharing original and curated content, so don't feel like you have to write everything. You can share a link with someone of something that you read that you thought was great. You know, it doesn't have to be all original. This is mainly used from business to consumer and nonprofits. Next, we have Pinterest. It's typically geared to women, foodies, crafters. So if this is your target audience, this is a great platform to consider. They're on there looking for photos, videos, products, tips. This is best for sharing visual content and products, how-to, and ebooks. So if that's your target audience, that's a great one to do. Next, we have Instagram. Instagram is basically best for younger audiences. It's 18 to 34. They're looking for useful, informative content, such as photos and video sharing. They have a much larger audience. If you're a professional photographer, this is the one for you. It's a great platform because you can share all your photos. If you have a lot of products that you have photos of, it's also a great one. So think of yourself, if you have a lot of photos to share, this could be a good avenue for you to use. It's mainly used by business to business, business to consumer, and nonprofits. So those are all your different platforms, or at least the top 5 that I would recommend looking into. So now you're like, okay, I'm on social, but I don't know what to say. Okay, so I'm going to give you kind of a percentage of what you should be doing throughout the week. So 50% of your time should be spent getting likes, getting shares, commenting, writing comments, viewing other people's comments, entertaining, invite conversation, ask questions, post images and videos. That's what you want to do 50% of your time. 30% of your time, you want to make it useful and informative information, industry info, hints and tips, curated content. That's where you're going to go out and you say, I just read this great article. I'm going to link to my Facebook page and let all of my clients and all of my prospects know this is a great thing for them to read, something they'd be interested in. Doesn't have to be something you wrote. Remember that you can get stuff out on the internet and post it onto your Facebook page. And last, 20% is about your business, your call to actions. I just don't want anybody to use the word buy now. You know, you want this to be like, we're having a promotion this weekend, come check it out. We're giving 20% off, we have a sale on this. That's what you want to do 20% of your time. So you say, okay, what questions can I ask? You know, I still can't figure out what to write. So I'm going to give you some ideas of what kind of things you can ask yourself. In these 3 questions, you're going to be able to find things to write. First, you're going to say, what's new? Do I have a new product? Do I have a new associate? Do I have a new price? Do I have a new location? Talk about what's going on new in your business. Okay. What did you do recently to help someone achieve success? Share your success stories. Share your client testimonials. Take a photo on the job. Share it. That's a great way to post of what's happening in your business. And last, what have people been asking you lately? What's a common question that they're asking you? Give them the answer. Give them the solution. Share your ideas. That's a great 3 different topics that if you ask yourself those questions, you'd know what to write on your social media. Next, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to give you a week's post of what you can post in this week. This is going to help you to get an idea of that 50, 30, 20. Okay, so let's just start with Monday. Monday, we're going to do a motivational quote, okay, and we're going to put it up in the morning. Tuesday, a did you know? Check out these tips. We're going to put that up at noon. Wednesday, we're going to be posting a photo of your team working, a customer testimonial, a story about your business, and I'm going to post that in the evening. Thursday, having a sale this weekend, a promotional offer, a deal of the week, let's post about it on Thursday. And we're going to post that in the afternoon. And Friday, I want you to put a fun fact, an informational video, a how-to. Just make sure that when you're doing this, you switch up the time of day because you're not really sure where your target audience is going and what time they're going. So start out with switching up the time of day. Then watch your Facebook analytics. It's going to tell you, where you had more traffic, what was doing well. And maybe then you'll gear it to being like, well, my customers are all coming on in the evening, so I'm going to put most of my posts on the evening. But at the beginning, I would switch up your times. Do things at all different times of the day. You never know who's going to be on social media. And most of all, you just want to get creative with your post. So this gives you kind of a snapshot look of a week of what you can do on Facebook. So here's some tips for your social media. First off, if you have a Twitter account, it's really important that you start out with maybe getting Hootsuite or TweetDeck. They're really good because they help you organize, they help you schedule, and most of all, what I like about them is they let you see when people are mentioning you. So you want to know what businesses are talking about you. So if you have these platforms, they're going to tell you, hey, you were mentioned today. You put in keywords and it tells you if you come up. It also lets you search for what's relevant to you. So if you have Twitter, which Twitter is a very easy one, you only have to do a line here, a line there, give some information out. It's a great platform. If you have it, I recommend that you get Hootsuite or TweetDeck because it makes it much easier for you. Next, posting pictures, making your company and products easier to understand. Post pictures of physical products, collect images of your customers to show customer satisfaction and engagement. If you're selling a service, then post a picture of your team, the team working, and make your company easier to relate to. Those are some great ideas, and pictures are always really highly viewed on Facebook, so it's a great thing to do. Next, create activity. Give a reason for your customers to interact with you. Encourage people to like your page. I always tell people, it doesn't hurt to ask. So when you see someone say, hey, like me on Facebook, hey, can you like me on Facebook? It doesn't hurt to ask people to recommend that they help you out on Facebook. It says, regularly post useful, interesting content to various sources. Monitor and participate the comments on your walls. Don't leave your wall sitting empty. Don't leave people commenting and you not reverting back to them. You want to make sure that if you get a comment that you're going back and you're checking and you're answering the question because they want to know that you're going to interact with them. How they view you is how they're viewing you there. They're not going to come to your business if you're not even answering their questions on Facebook, yet you have a Facebook presence. So you want to make sure that you're participating in your wall. Recommend other business prospects. People love to read glowing reports about you and your business. So start writing one today for someone else and post it to their social media. This accomplishes many things. One, it flatters the person, it helps them look better in their profile, and it also leaves them the desire to reciprocate. So if you do nothing, go home today, on your fellow business partner, write a good review. You would want that done for you, and in turn, maybe they will do that for you. So I do recommend that you do that for social media. So that kind of wraps up social media. And that section we're going into is communication. This section, I have bundled everything up together. It's multiple ideas for communicating with your prospects and your customers. It's a kind of catch-all of good information that I think can help you grow your business. So we're going to start with email. It's the best and least expensive way to communicate to your prospects and your clients. So first you need to build an email list. So I'm just going to give you some quick ideas on how you can build your email list. First of all, don't be afraid to ask your prospects to join your email list on your website. Promote the benefits that come along with joining. So ask and say, this is what you get when you join my email. It might be promotional coupons. It might be a newsletter with all the interesting information that's happening in your company. But don't be afraid to put that on your website. You know, you want to make sure if you are putting it on your website that you're keeping it up to the top of the page. Don't put it below. It's like, because best results show that if it's at the top of the page, you'll get better action on it. Also, you maybe offer a complimentary gift certificate or something if they fill out that information. I mean, they're giving you their email, so you need to kind of think about giving them something in return. What's going to encourage them to put their email in? So kind of think like that, you know, maybe 20% off on a sale or something. So collect emails offline at offline events like trade shows and community events. Once you collect these emails, you know, you want to make sure that you send a welcome letter that confirms that they've opted into receiving your emails. But it's a great way when you go to these events, you know, get their email, ask for their business card, send them a welcome email, see if they're interested in joining your email list. Next, give your customers a choice to receive their receipt digitally instead of printing paper. A lot of people these days are going green, and it's a welcome idea to them. So, you know, just ask them, hey, can I send you this on an email? Yeah, I send you a receipt. That's just a great way of getting their email. Next, you know, host a webinar. It's a great way to contact and build your business list. There's many services out there. There's GoToMeeting that offers a 30-day free trial. I recommend that if you have something to say, try that for 30 days. Have a webinar. You'd be surprised at how many people will sit down and sign up for a webinar. And it's a great way to build your marketing list. You know, then you have an audience that you know are interested in your products. So I recommend that if you've never done a webinar, to go in and check one out. They're very beneficial. And if you don't do a webinar, do an in-person event. You know, that's another great way to get people to come to your event, and then you get to know them and you can get their email and they can be part of your list. Next, you know, ask for the email at the point of sale, both online and in the store. You know, just ask them, say, this is what we have as a benefit. If you join our email list, we're giving you coupons, we're letting you know what's happening new, we're giving hints and tips for your business, you know, things that can help them out. So it's a great way to get them onto your email list. And like I was talking before, do a joint venture with another business owner. That way, you're getting access to his emails as well as he's getting access to yours, but it's doubling your prospects. So have an event, have a webinar, a joint webinar, have a joint event. It's a great way. Partner up with your businesses. I highly recommend that you do get to know your businesses. Go to the chambers. Get to know your fellow businessmen. Say, what can we do together to get ourselves more clients? You're going to work better together than separately. Okay, so what makes a great email with a great open rate? I mean, that's the trick. It's like you can send out all the emails you want, but if you can't get them open, that's kind of a problem. So an e-newsletter is a great way of communicating. It lets your clients and customers and prospects know what's happening with your business. Okay, so you can give testimonials and of clients and vendors is a great thing to put in your email. Upcoming sales and promotions. Quick and easy tips and how-to. Solid information that will help their pain points. What do they need help with? Give this information in your newsletter. Whatever you do, don't make it a sales pitch. Make it valuable information that your client and prospects want to open and look forward to receiving either every month or every quarter, or however often you do it. Okay, next, to make a great open rate, subject line. It's like, okay, these are the kind of principles for your subject line. You don't have to have punctuation. It's not necessary. Capital letters have been shown to have a better open rate, but you want to make sure that you don't overuse them, don't put them on everything, because then it appears like you're shouting, which is like a negative effect. But put it in one word. Make one word all capitals. It shows attention, it stops and makes people read it. Okay, symbols strategically placed. That's another great way of getting people's attention. I'm not talking 5 exclamation points at the end of your subject line. That's actually going to hurt it. That will get you in a spam filter. So you want to be careful that you don't overdo the symbols, but a couple have shown that you have better open rate if you use them. Make sure that you put your best words first. You know, hey, we have a hot topic, or what's going to ensure that they're going to want to open it. You know, the best visibility, start at the beginning. Make sure it's short and simple, under 60 characters. You don't want to put a long subject line. You want to make it short and simple, but you want to make it attention grabbing. So the key is don't go too long, no more than 60 characters. Use language that teases them, gets them excited about maybe what's inside. You know, it's like you want to just put a little tidbit about what lies inside the email. You know, that's helps a great open rate. And also, if you can put their first name and personalize the subject line, you have a 22% greater chance of getting it opened. So that's another great tool. Call out important information that's inside of your email. You know, that also will get their attention. So you know what I always do, there's a lot of books out there on how to write a great email subject line. It's like you should really invest in a book, come to the library, check a book out. It will give you a lot of ideas that you can use for clever ways to get people interested in opening their email. Unfortunately, you almost have to do that these days because people are getting so swamped with emails, you need to make yours stand out a little. So I'm going to talk about email calls to action to get the best results. You want to keep it short and concise. You want something like download now. You don't want to get it real long, their call of action. You just want to say what you need to do. You need to make sure that it's up at the top. It's in the first frame. You want to make sure that if you have a linkable signature, that if you're a sales professional, you know, you want to make sure that your call to action is kind of in your signature line. If you have a promotion, add it to your signature line. It's a great way to get an added bonus on it. Make sure that you have an opt-out of your email. And then if they do opt out of your email, make sure that you're responding in a timely manner to get them off the list. That's good email ethics. So you want to make sure that you have an opt-out in every email that you send. You know, make sure that you have your physical address in your email. It's usually included in the bottom at the footer, but it's something that, you know, you should be putting in your email. Learn what the servers can handle. So many of my clients have tried to send out 1,000 emails all at once and have crashed the server. So you want to, you know, contact your email provider and say how many, you know, look up online, see how many it can handle per hour. You don't want to overdo your emails. That's, as we talked about, the subject line. It's like make sure it does not deceive. Make sure it's exactly what's in your email. You don't want to put things that aren't really what's in your email. So don't deceive anybody. Be careful not to use caps and symbols, overuse them, because they do trigger the spam filter if they're overused. So you want to be careful that you don't put those 5 exclamation points, that you really are thoughtful with what you're doing, because if you do too much, it puts it in the spam filter. Also, another thing that can put it in the spam filter is too many photos. So you don't want it too complicated of an email to go out because it probably will land in their spam filter and they'll never see it. Send emails earlier in the week and day. They generally have the best open rate. You know, make sure you test, test, and test. And like I said, with your website, it's the same with the emails. If you're sending an HTML email, it may work in one email client and it might not work in another. So you want to make sure that you're testing that it works in the top 5 email clients. Okay. Avoid overmailing. I can't stress this enough. You know, statistics say that, you know, you send more than 1 or 2 a week, you're going to have a good chance of people unsubscribing because people get annoyed. So, you know, what I always say is the best thing to do is to test. You know, get yourself a mail client like, you know, MailChimp, you know, Constant Contact. They track everything for you. They tell you what your open rate is. They tell you what's working, what's not working. So this way you can avoid what's not working. If you send out 2 emails or 3 emails and you get a lot of unsubscribes that week, chances are good people were getting fed up, you were sending too much. You also want to make sure that they're remembering you, so you don't want to do too little. You know, you don't want to say I send 1 email out every 6 months. Then people have forgot all about you. So, you know, you have to get into the right pattern of what's working. So that's why having an, you know, kind of a mail service helps you to see exactly, you can track everything. That's communications. This is kind of what I was talking about, where you can put all of your stuff out on the internet. So I'm going to give you some really good, helpful ideas on how you can get the word, spread your word out to the internet. First, we're going to start with press releases. There's many places that you can upload your press release for free. You say, well, what do I put in a press release? A press release could be anything from a new location to a new employee to a new service. Think about anything that could be considered news. Send it out to these press releases. It gets released. It gives you temporary SEO, so you will get higher in the search engine while you have a press release out because your name and your website is in those press releases. So that's like called a backlink, and that's what will get you to be higher up in the search engine. So putting out press releases is a really good idea. Next, we talked about the slide presentations. Create a very short presentation that carries a message about the products and services and share them on the web. This is a great way to reach customers in just a handful of slides. You can deliver a short, concise message. So it's basically just a PowerPoint that you're going to create. Here's an idea. What is the most frequently asked questions? Why don't you make a presentation of that and answer those questions? Make it a slide presentation, put in a link to your website, then put it out to all these places I just gave you links to, and that's 5 more places that know who you are. So when the spider bots come around and they say, well, he's got out, SlideShare in 4 locations, he's got 5 press releases out, he must be important, because all of a sudden it's like he's all over the internet. So you want to make sure that you can put yourself out there so that you can be found easier. And as I talked about earlier, and probably the most important, is video. There's many places besides YouTube, and you think, well, they're not getting as much traffic. It's not as important as that your link is with those videos, and it's showing that you're in more places than just 1 or 2. So upload it to many sites. Create a video for your business in all of these. Once you make something, put it on your website, put it everywhere out on the internet. If you've done the content, you've done the work, you want to spread the word. So go ahead and start spreading the word. Next, I have articles. You wrote a quick article about something that happened in your business. You had really good customer satisfaction and you wanted to write the story in an article. Once you've written the article, there's many places you can post articles for free. It doesn't cost you anything. It gives you a better chance at being better page ranked because people feel like I said, they deem you as important because you're in a lot of places. So if you write an article for your website, for your social media, make sure you share it throughout the internet. It's just good practice that once you do one piece of content, that you work at how can I share this content. Next, we're going to talk about Shop New Lenox. I don't know if any of you have heard about the Shop New Lenox yet, but it's a new program that the Village has started that they're going to help businesses get found. They're giving you a platform to advise and promote your business. So what you do is you're going to go on to their website right there, and then you're going to look for this logo. And once you see this logo, you're going to click the logo, and it's going to take you to a page that's going to let you claim your business. Once you've claimed your business and it's been approved, then I want you to think of this as a mini website. It's a place that you can put all your news, you can put all your hours, you can post jobs, you can do coupons, you can do promotions, you can tell people of what events are going on. So if you don't have a website, this is a perfect opportunity to have like a mini website. It's where you can get out all your information to anybody that's coming to the Village of New Lenox site looking for businesses. So if you didn't do this already, it's kind of a no-brainer. You need to go on, claim your business, and above all, it's free for all these business owners. So you want to make sure that if you haven't done this, go on and do this today, because this is something you can't afford not to do, especially if you don't have a website. You want to make sure that you can be found. And people are going to this website looking for businesses, and if you don't claim your business, they're not going to see everything that you have. So go ahead and go on to Shop New Lenox on the Village. And next, and probably the most important and very dear to my heart, is the New Lenox Library. We're partnering with the chambers to create events for small business owners because we want to help the businesses thrive. So we have some events set up. We also have a book discussion club. And I know people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to read a book and discuss it. But I don't think people are understanding what this group is about. You're going to discuss business principles. You're going to discuss them together. And it's like a big brainstorming session where you can benefit from this. You can get ideas from this. This is a great group to join and realize, I didn't know I could do this, or I didn't think of that, because multiple brains work better than one. So if you didn't join the book discussion club, I highly recommend you do, because you can really get a lot out of it. And we have that here at the library. Also, which is very important for business owners, is our Digital Media Lab. Our Digital Media Lab offers a full Adobe Creative Suite, as well as cameras, video cameras, green screens, anything that can help you. We also have a subscription to lynda.com, which is training videos that can teach you anything that you might not know. You know, if you said, I really want to create a video, I don't know how to do that. It's like, you can come to our Digital Media Lab, you can start your video, we have the camera, we have the green screen. You can finish it on the software that we have up there. We have all the programs to edit your videos, as well as to the finish line. You can actually walk out of the Digital Media Lab with a finished video. So there's no excuse not to do videos, because we can help you with that. We can help you with your marketing materials. You can do business cards up there. You can do brochures. You can create ads. You can record podcasts. Really, almost anything that you need, you can find up there in the Digital Media Lab. So I recommend that you go up there and check it out. So also, we have a database available to businesses that can help you build your email list. And it's just a good resource that we have here at the library for small businesses. I also want to talk about the library card. It's the most important card that you can have in your wallet. Any small business can grow with these resources. The library offers a business card to anybody that has a business in New Lenox. You don't have to be a resident in New Lenox, you just have to be a business in New Lenox. All you need to do is show your business card or show a letterhead with your address on it, and we can open up a card for you. Then you have access to the Digital Media Lab, to all the books, to seminars like this one, and best of all, it's all free. So if you don't have a library card, go out there, sign up for one today, go up, check out our Digital Media Lab, and see all the things that we've built for small businesses. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I did leave us on your desk, there's a survey that I really would appreciate if everybody would fill out. It gives us an opportunity to know what exactly you would like to have. I also want to recommend that everyone go on to our Facebook page and like us, please, and to follow us on Twitter. And I've left you all this information. If you have any questions, you can always contact me here at the library. It's like, I do plan on sending out this presentation to everybody. You know, if they leave me your email address, I'd be glad to send it to you. I have a lot in the notes, a lot of extra links and things that can help you out. So it'd be a good thing for you to get. If you have any questions, I'm going to be in the back of the room. I'd be glad to answer, and I hope everyone enjoyed it and got something out of it today. Did I talk too much? I knew it'd be a little bit overwhelming, but I just wanted you to take one or two pieces of it to get an idea, how can I grow my business? What can I do today to make a difference to my business? So thank you, everybody.